Hey guys, ForScan here with another how-to video. This one here that you'll be watching is for adding navigation to your MyFord Touch to a Sync 2 system. This one works on most Ford vehicles as long as you have the 6.5 inch or the 8 inch touchscreen APIM module, which is the unit that sits right here. When I first purchased the vehicle back in 2014, I bought the vehicle loaded except for navigation. And I didn't think that'd be a problem simply because cell phones do a really good job, for navigation, especially Google Maps. Google Maps is a very common used cell phone maps device, app, on your device. So anyways, as you can tell, I'll pull out right here. This is my window sticker from when I bought the car back in 2014. So as you can see, it's got all the exterior options, the interior options, the functional options, safety, security, of course, and then of course you got your optional equipment, which if I had navigation, it would have been listed in there. The cost on that I believe was like $695, or maybe it was $595. I can't remember. Either way, it's like $600 or $700 add-on. So, and of course, if people were really wondering how much this car did cost at the time, just under $2,600, or I'm sorry, $26,000. I wish it was $2,600. But anyways, so the last video I did was showing you how to use ForScan and the ALM 327 connector to enable the rear view camera option that was not available for the ST models in the US market. So only, I believe, the titanium models and the Fiesta ended up coming with that option. So I ended up showing you guys how to install it. Roughly cost about like $30 to do. Very inexpensive add-on, and it's very nice. So as you can tell, when I put it in reverse, bam, I have a backup camera. So it's very nice to have that little feature. Now when I back up, I know how exactly far away I am to a vehicle, because some people have like tinted back windows. I used to have mine tinted, but even like when I'm looking in rearview mirrors or I turn my head around, I can never quite tell how far away I am on a vehicle. So the backup camera install was one of the best things that I personally think could happen. So moving on to what you need to install this onto your, actually it's not really much of an installation, however you will be doing an update. But anyways, adding navigation or enabling the option into your APIM module. So like I said, this works for 6.5 inch and 8 inch touchscreens with Sync 2 MyFord Touch. Other things that you'll need to know if you're able to do this is, as you see, there is a compass that is built onto the screen here. But of course, touching it doesn't do anything. But you can hit the information up here in the top right. Well, obviously it's showing the navigation system card fault because I already did this. But there's no navigation system here. You can connect to services, but they're already discontinuing doing that kind of option. So this so I figured, why not go further into what I can do with the Sync MyFord Touch system. So I ended up stumbling across on a Focus forum that people were enabling this into their Focus. So it's like, well, everything for the most part seems to be the same for like the Fiesta. Well, it ends up being like the same for like the Tauruses, the Fusions, the Transit Connects, anything so far that seems to be with either, like I said, the 6.5 inch or the 8 inch touchscreen. So other things besides the compass that you'll need is you'll need an SD card slot. I'm not sure if all the vehicles come with it. I do know that obviously my vehicle comes with it, because obviously this works. Because one of the other things that you'll need after you get done with this is you'll need the map card. Now this one here is the A6 module, and this one here, it plugs right into your SD card slot. This one here I bought for $15 on eBay used, because it's an older map card. It's roughly around the 2014 era. Not many things change around in my area, so I figured I don't need to get the latest and greatest thing. The most expensive I think I've seen was the A8, which is the most recent card that you can get, and it was roughly like $64. I mean, I figure, hey, I'll try this out first. You know, $15, a couple-year-old map isn't going to change anything around here. They don't put more roads in here. Although I did notice it had a cool feature is in really small print it'll tell you how fast the road speed limit is. But that can change a little bit, because in certain roads I've noticed they changed the speed limit, you know, over the course of time. Maybe it was too fast and people are complaining and stuff like that, you know. So you'll need those few options. If you have those options already available on your car and you don't have navigation, you should be able to do this and have navigation at very little cost. Or basically it's going to cost you however much that the map card is really going to cost, unless, you know, you don't have the, you know, ALM 327 connector. You are going to need one of these. This one here has the high speed and the medium speed, you know, with the flick of a switch. So you will need this. And another thing that you'll need is you'll need a USB flash drive, because what you're going to do is you're going to download, in the description I'll have a download, it'll have the newest firmware update. The current one on the regular system is a 3.7, and then that's it. Ford does not support any more updates for the system. So this one here, it'll end up updating your system into 3.8, which is the most recent navigation system. So the very first thing that you'll have to do is we're gonna have to hook up ForScan, you know, to the vehicle, and we're gonna have to change a 0 to a 4, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so now we have the ALM 327 connector connected to the OBD port into the vehicle. I do have the vehicle running. It is very cold outside, you know, as you can tell it's only a whopping 44 degrees, so I'm sitting here with my nice heated seats on, enjoying some nice warmth. But anyways, it's you don't have to have it running, but you have to have an accessory mode. Having the vehicle running is fine, especially if your battery starts getting weak. You don't want to you know, run out on battery power, and then, you know, you could brick the APIM and try not to have any of that problem. So, you know, if you don't want to have the vehicle running, or it's not an involved ventilated area, if you have a battery charger, hook it up to it. The process really doesn't take long with ForScan to do. However, when you do go to do the update can take 20 minutes, half an hour or so. I don't know if it I don't think it really took longer than a half hour. But anyways, so what we'll do is we'll go to our laptop and we'll open up ForScan. So once ForScan is connected, of course, they'll tell you they have the ignition key is in the on position. It's running, which is fine. High speed and medium speed CAN switch, if available, is in the high speed CAN position. Obviously the vehicle's not moving. With the OK button, I already have this saved to my profile, so we'll just load it from the profile. It's no problem. And of course, it'll ask you if the vehicle, you know, may contain a medium speed CAN modules. You know, does your ALM adapter have high speed, medium speed CAN switch? It does, but for this purpose, we really only need to do high speed. So I'm just gonna hit no just to save it from taking a little bit longer to update. So once you do that, you're going to go over here to the left hand side, and it's going to look like a little computer chip just below the wrench and just above the gear. It'll say configuration and programming. We're obviously going to be modifying the APIM module, so it's already selected, so all you got to do is hit the little play button on the bottom left. Once you do that, it'll load, and of course then it'll tell you it says changing configuration is potentially not safe. An incorrect value written in this module may take a non-functional and require restarting original as-built data. Which is letting you know that if you screw up, you can brick it. Well, we know very well that we're taking these risks. As long as you follow the instructions on here, you should have no problem at all. So remember, we're going to be changing a 0 to a 4. So over here it gives you a list of several numbers and then several boxes that you can change. The reverse camera here was when you had to change this one here. It used to be a 1 and we changed it to a 3. Well, we're not going to be touching that one because the backup camera works very well. So on the second module down, it's going to be 7D0-01-02, and then it'll have the 3 boxes. Now we're going to be changing the second 0 in the very first box in the second row, and we're going to rate that with a 4. All you got to do is hit the right button. It'll tell you that there's an incorrect checksum of data entered. You know, this may be a typo. Don't worry about it. ForScan will automatically correct it, because you can see the last 2 digits is a 4 and a D. If you continue, just go ahead and hit yes, and then it'll tell you please cycle the ignition off and then back on. That is not necessary, however. And you notice the last 2 digits on here change from 4D to 51. You can also change it yourself if you like, but it's not necessary. So over here you can see the My Sync, My Ford Touch Sync 2 it's going into reboot mode, and then it's going to check for maintenance. It takes usually about a minute for it to do its thing, and then it comes right back up. So wait for it to come up. Alright, and it's now just finishing up the maintenance check. So your screen won't look exactly like this, because I already did the update for the, you know, from version 3.7 to 3.8. I cannot revert it back. So we're going to proceed. So of course it's letting me know that the navigation card is not there. Obviously I didn't plug it in yet. So back on ForScan, once you do that, that's the only thing you need ForScan for. Of course, I did forget to mention, you will need to get the extended license for this. It's free. All you got to do is you got to register on ForScan's website. They usually approve you at a relatively fast pace, so it's not going to cost you anything. It is free. However, you know, they do accept donations because these people are awesome. I mean, to do this whole thing for only, you know, $15, you know, just for this nav chip here is amazing. You know, these guys are awesome. They've been doing so many things with the Ford vehicles, it's ridiculous. They've saved me not necessarily like a whole bunch of money, but taking the vehicle to the dealership and things like that, especially on my pickup truck. But anyways, if you feel like donating to them, you know, go ahead and donate to them. You know, again, those guys are awesome. ForScan people, I love you. Keep what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Alright, so that was the only thing you needed to do with ForScan, so take that right down. You'll need to get your SD card. Your little, this one was like, I don't know, $10, $15 at Walmart. Whoopie-doo. This one is a 16 gigabyte, should be suffice. The very first thing that you'll do is, in the link in the description, we'll have the link to the update. Once you download that, it's going to be in a zip folder. You're going to extract it and then move the unzipped folder to the SD card. Make sure that there's nothing else on the SD card. You'll take it to your vehicle, you'll plug it into the USB port. Again, this is probably where you're going to want to have either the vehicle running or a battery charger hooked up to it. And then it will automatically realize that, hey, there's an update for this. Do you want us to update it? You know, sure, go through the steps, hit yes. The process will take about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, probably tops, to do the full update. Once it gets done with the update, the screen still will be a little bit different than this here. It'll still say like information, I think it was on the top right, and you won't have the information button here, which obviously is just going to say the navigation card is at fault, which obviously I know I haven't plugged it in yet. You will want to do like a master reboot to the well, hold on, skip that. The other thing that you'll have to do is there will be another link in the description that you'll need to download as well. When the update is complete, on your little, you know, flash card here, your little memory card, you're going to zap it back into the computer, and you're going to remove the update off of the flash card, and then you're going to move that little update thing, or you'll move the other download piece onto the card. I'm plugging in the card because after you do the transfer to the other file there, you're going to want to go into settings, go to your display button here, and you're going to edit your wallpaper, and then we're going to add. And of course, it's just going to tell you, hey, this is what it accepts. Hit OK. And of course, it's on the USB 1. And then the file that you're going to have here is going to be the Navi patch, which is obviously going to be in the description. You know, Navi patch saved to the sync. You get it back up. You're going to touch the Navi patch, and obviously see where it says unlock. Touch it, and it's going to say Navi unlocked. That's all you got to do for that. Then you'll do a master reset. What you're going to do is just going to hit the master reset. It's going to be underneath the settings button. You're going to wait for it to do its quick reboot. Then you're going to turn off the vehicle, probably go inside for about 10 minutes or wait 10 minutes. Once the system finally fully shuts off, next time you start it, your screen should look just like this. Once the screen looks just like this, and you get yourself your little map card, we're going to pop the map card into the system. So, I'll get my hands inside this little console here. I guess if I have it facing the right way too, that might help, because it is a very tight fit. Alright, there she goes. Alright, I inserted a Navi SD card, and of course, now it no longer says insert the Navi card. Obviously you can see too, the compass has gotten a little bit smaller. And when you touch it, voila, navigation. Then the navigation's not that bad. Navigation's, it's pretty close to just like those little handheld units that you can plug in and stick to your window kind of deal. Except for now it's built onto your APIM module, your touchscreen. So that's really all you have to do. It really doesn't cost a whole lot of dollars, you know, to do it. Again, 15 whole whopping dollars for me. Was not a lot of money. And that's it. There was nothing, you know, fancy about how to do this at all. It was pretty straightforward. You know, props to whoever figured this out, and ForScan for allowing us to reconfigure this to add this feature. So unplug the you know, the ALM327. You know, thanks to this thing, thanks to the guys at ForScan. You know, this is probably one of the easiest updates or upgrades you can do to the My Ford Touch Sync 2 system. The main thing I would like to do in the future is put the Sync 3 system inside here instead of the Sync 2 system here that they have. I think it's personally a lot better. Obviously, Microsoft was ditched by Ford, you know, for this, the new one. So, but that's really all you have to do. You know, if you guys really like the video and a little bit of how-to, you know, please like, subscribe, share it if you like it. You know, or if you know other people have Ford vehicles, and say, hey, I can unlock navigation for you because you meet the requirements. Or hey, check this video out. You know. And like I said, you know, if you guys really do like these kind of videos, you know, let me know. Let me know what other kind of videos and stuff like that that I can possibly, you know, provide for you guys. Because I like to do this kind of stuff. It makes this vehicle a little bit more, you know, my vehicle. You know, hey, I did this to my vehicle, and it's really cool to do things like this. You know, especially to a newer vehicle. So other than that, if you guys are wondering about global windows for the U.S. Market, unfortunately, ForScan can enable it, which is what I was really hoping for, by the way. However, not so much. You guys cannot do it because we just don't have the supporting window door modules built into the vehicle. And you can tell this just because the driver's side window switch, obviously it's like a one touch, it goes up, and one touch it goes down, stuff like that. The other ones do not, which means that we cannot do it. So other things I've done with ForScan is I disabled the shift light, so I no longer have a shift light. So little things like that. So again, guys, you know, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share it if you like it, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.